ladies and gentlemen, Alberta's pride. Hey, ho, hey, ha, ha, ha.
Hey. How's everyone doing today? Coming to you live from Sylvan Lake.
Out in Alberta where the Rockies rise, Tommy Temper streaming with fire in his eyes from a lake house glowing in the moonlight's gleam. He's the YouTube king of the widest streams.
Thanks a lot for joining us here today. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. And we're coming to you absolutely live, unless you're watching a recording. You know, there's always that possibility. But we like doing live stuff off the seat of our pants, off the cuff. You know, we just fly like you wouldn't fly before. You know, like I watch these guys where they do these clip cuts all the time. Their faces jerking around all over the place, and it's going from like one cut to another cut to, you know, you got to get rid of all the dead airspace and stuff like that. And yeah, we're just plain doing it live. Absolutely live. Just me. Hey. First in. Good to see you, Just Me. You're looking beautiful today. Looking good. Let me just get some of the back end stuff done here. And we'll get this show rolling. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. Okay, got that switch turned on. You can get a mod to turn on some of the other switches when they get in here. That'd be great. That's why we have lots of mods. Let me get over to my stream. Click that button and stop watching myself live. Yeah, we got Quack in there. Nice to see you, Quack. We got Just Me in there. We got Pooh Scissors in there. Pooh Scissors, a great supporter of the stream. Good to see you in there. Big ups to you, Quack. Good to see you. Looking good. We got Al Munson in there. Thank you very much for popping in. We got D. D's popping in here. Hey, D's. Looking good. That's funny. My bot didn't say welcome to you there, D's. Well, actually, it did. Now that I see it, I just it was in the wrong place there. Okay, thanks a lot for turning those switches on. We got Carrie's musings in there. Carrie, good to see you. We got Shellman in there, or Shellhan in there. Good to see you there, Shellhan. Shellhan Omar, looking beautiful. 12th man off grid. Thanks a lot for joining the panel. We got Crime in America in there. Crime, you got to stop using you know, vulgar stuff on your stream over there. Holy jeez, I was over there listening to you, and you're like using a lot of you know, terminology that you know that I don't like. Everybody in my stream is trying to get you out of here because of stuff that you're doing in the background there. Fighting with everyone out there. My Turtles Adventures in there. Hey, good to see you. Nice to see people popping in here right off the cuff as soon as the stream starts. Appreciate that. We got, we're streaming on Kick, Facebook, on the Tommy Temper Show on YouTube, Press Pad on YouTube, Local Celebrities on YouTube, Channel Reviews on YouTube, Tommy Temper Show on, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. Can't say the name here now. What is that? X, well, on X there for sure. And on Twitch, that's what I was thinking of there. Yeah, anyways, looks like things are working good. We got Peachy King popping in there. Hey, Mama Red in there. Good to see you. Thanks a lot for joining us here today. Right away, got lots of good people popping in here. Whoa! We got lots of people heading over to the beach. You know, lots of good weather in here today. It was actually sunny all morning, and I see it's starting to cloud over a little bit, but we're getting a little bit of cloud and sunny weather here I didn't even look to see exactly what the temperature is going to be here today, but I know that in Sylvan Lake, it's going to be pretty good. Right now, 21 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good for 11 o'clock in the morning. And it looks like we're going to be going up to about, 25, 27 for a high today. 27 degrees Celsius. Whoa, that's a hell of a good temperature, actually. So great temperature to be out at the beach, get a little bit of a sun. Warms up the water a little bit there, especially in the shallow sections there. So that looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, we got, who else popping in here? We got Dash and Grandma in there. Mo is popping in. Good to see you, Mo. We got Don Peter in there. Hey, Don. Good to see you. Type in chat. I'll give you a wrench, Tommy. Yeah. When I look over in the troll channel, you know who I'm talking about. You call them the Antifa channel there. It's like, Tommy's, an R word, and crime in America is an R word, and blah, 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 blah. And they're trying to associate me with you and whatever. And it doesn't matter what I say or what I do. It's like, they're like trying to put you down over in their channel, especially Dean Wall. Dean Wall, you're like, I've got you banned in my channel. And it's like, when you ban somebody, they go absolutely berserk because you're over in Cat's channel there. Oh, Tommy this, Tommy that, Tommy this, Tommy that. Like you're the worst for doing stuff. But you deserve it because you were doxing me, Dean Wall. So if you dox me and you put out information on the internet with my real name, real address, real phone number, any kind of stuff like that, you know what doxing is. I don't like that. So, look at crime. You're already getting message deleted by D in there. So, stuff like that is not good. Yeah, D saying crime is a doxer. Yeah, I know. And I don't like that. Crime. I don't like any kind of doxing at all. You know that. I don't like that. And you're pissing off the mods in there. And you know that I've got lots of mods in my channel. Look at how many people are in blue there. But the blue used to be a wrench, but now it's a little police symbol in there beside the mods. Here's the cops in the chat. Yeah, like D's 23 in there, like Jen in there has a mod wrench in there. Lots of moderators in there. Yeah. Anyways, I came up with this. I just ran across this thing here, and it's kind of funny. It's about, you've got these people in Canada here that are kind of against the people that want independence. Look at, I'm wearing my Alberta independence hat here and my nice white T-shirt here. Again, it's the same T-shirt I had on yesterday, but it's still in good shape because I didn't really sweat there yesterday at all. So, it's still in nice shape. Yeah, I do sometimes wear my shirts more than one day, but usually about 2 days is max. And then we switch her out to something else. But we're wearing white instead of black. I usually have my black hat on and a black shirt on. And, I've kind of like my trademark for coming on live here. By the way, I was working all morning, like, holy geez. I was up like it was like 7 o'clock. And then I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, watching some stuff that's going on. And then, mini hat. Yeah, it's kind of a mini hat. No, not really. It's a pretty good hat, pretty good size hat. But I like the kind of hats that have the flat brow on them. You know what I mean? Like those. I don't know if it's it's a car guy hat. I like those car guy hats. I don't know if it's gang members wear those hats, but I like the ones with the flat brim. Better for whatever reason. And I'm going to get another Tommy Temper hat, or a few of them that have a flat brim when the guy that makes the hats in Edmonton gets back from holidays. He's going to make me a few more hats. But anyways, you guys know that Alberta is looking for independence. We're going to have a vote. To have a vote in October the 19th is one of the votes for to see whether or not we have enough people for independence. The elections Alberta is apparently counting, excuse my hiccups here, but I just had my regimen of, my omega pills here and whatever. Not pills, but vitamins and, I don't know, what do you call this? Is it a vitamin? I don't know if this stuff, but anyways, I have this. I actually have like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 kinds of vitamins and stuff like that. Like this one here. This one is, what is it? Zinc. A little bit of zinc in the morning and a little bit of vitamin C, vitamin D, some minerals and stuff like that. And a lot of people, you have the vitamins, but what you forget is to have the minerals, right? And your body needs minerals as well. Because just think about it. Let's say that you were a caveman out there and you just woke up and you come out of your cave and you go searching for stuff, you're going to be eating some minerals and stuff like that, like dig up some plant and eat the root of a plant, maybe eat some leaves of something, maybe eat an apple or an orange, a little bit of citrus in there. You need that. Especially guys like me that, are here in the cold country in the middle of winter where you don't get enough sunshine. You need that vitamin C, vitamin D, stuff like that. So, you have to do that to, make yourself viable to live another day. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that your fingers are working good. I even bought one of those things that, it's, I have it over there, but it's like a thing that you squeeze like this, it's so that it got, guys, they have to be able to squeeze like this, like, quite regularly. So I've got that squeezing tool so that I can practice squeezing there, just when I'm sitting around doing nothing. It's like exercise for your fingers, that kind of thing. Yeah, you got to exercise your fingers. I got Roman hands and, who is that said that? Is it, she said that she's Italian, Roman, and Greek or Russian. yeah. Russian fingers and Roman hands or something. No, roaming hands and Russian fingers. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, the war is still on between Ukraine and, I'm sorry if you're Russian out there and, and if you're a friend of mine. But, I'm on the side of peace. Let's make peace over there in the far eastern communist bloc. And, we need to have peace over there with Iran and the United States. But apparently there's a giant war going on over there. Holy jeez. Trump is really hitting Iran there big time with lots of missiles and kabooms and stuff like that. It's like really crazy. Yeah, Mo is right. War is not the answer. I agree with you 100% there. War is not the answer. I like that you've got that in your name too. I would agree with you. But anyways, I live in Alberta here, and let's hear what the rest of Canada has to say about Alberta and living in Canada. Okay, this is from somebody that is like, and in Canada you got elbows up. We're elbows up. We're liberals. We're like, we voted for Mark Carney, and we're like pro-Canada, and we don't want you guys in Alberta to be leaving. We want you to stay in Canada. May Allah save poor Stephen's soul, says Al Munson there. But anyways, here's a guy that is elbows up. He probably voted for Mark Carney, and he says this, and I'll read this to you. So just listen carefully, okay? Listen up. I could actually have it on the screen here, but there it is on the screen. And, what's he saying there? Okay, we'll start it off here. He's saying, hi. His handle on X is DCL. It says, hi, I live in Alberta, and I'm a forever Canadian who will be voting to stay because Canada is thriving. Well, hang on a second. The very first thing he says, which is Canada is thriving, is actually nonsense. Our GDP is like low. We're in a recession. Carney calls it a technical recession. I don't care what the hell you call it. A recession is a recession. That means you're not doing well. You're not expanding. Your economy isn't expanding. It's like barely moving. It's like at, equilibrium. So right away, the very first thing he says, I don't agree with. Canada is not thriving. It's actually Alberta that's thriving, right? You know, did you know that we've got some big data center that's going in just north of Edmonton from Meta, which is Facebook, which is Zuckerberg. He's basically spending billions of dollars in Alberta here to open up an AI center. And I know, or not an AI center, but a data center, right? And people go, whoa, he's going to be collecting data, and those things are bad for you and stuff like that. I know, Brett is kind of negative on stuff like that. Dimebag in there. Hey, good to see you. Dwayne in there. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot to everyone that's popping in here. Who else is in there? We got, Edward Cam in there. Hey, Edward. We got Steve O in there. Whoa, good to see you there, Steve. Big ups to you there, Steve. We got Daryl Robinson in there. Hey, good to see you there, Daryl. And, John Third Eye in there. Hey, nice to see you. Jen in there, Jen DeLon. I think we got you in there. Don Peter, we got you in there too. Yeah, anyways, more people are popping in here, and sorry if I miss you or I don't say hello to you. I like to say hello to, people that are in the chat, because my channel has a chat that's small enough that I can actually sometimes read what's going on there. Not all the time, though. So, sorry if you say something in my chat. Sandy Foster in there. Hey, Sandy. Ontario is the richest province in Canada, followed by Quebec. Yeah, well, Quebec is rich because Alberta sends them a bunch of money. Ontario is rich because Alberta sends them a bunch of money. You know that, don't you? Don't you? There have not provinces. Remember, in Confederation, you have equalization payments that go to have not provinces that are failing, provinces that don't have enough money. They get extra billions of dollars from Alberta, just to let you know what's actually going on there. So, it's okay for you to say that, but understand, why it is like that, and I'm not making this crap up, that's for sure. Yeah. Anyways, Cat in there. Hey, Cat. Yeah. Well, you guys have a misinformation channel over there, doxing channel. Ooh, I'm going to go for a sailboat ride one of these days there. I like those sailboats out there on the lake. Anyways, this guy here lives in Alberta, and he's a forever Canadian who's got his elbows up and says Canada is thriving. What about all those auto jobs that are moving to the United States from Ontario? Is that a thriving situation? I don't know. What about all those big businesses that moved out of Quebec because they didn't want to follow all of those Quebec French language laws and crap like that? And they said, to hell with that. Big businesses moved to Ontario. Their head offices moved out of Quebec because they're pushing that whole narrative. What about, that Quebec doesn't want the hijab and other religious symbols to be worn in public office type buildings, schools, provincial, things that are run by the province, and that's a lot of government jobs there where they're pushing stuff like that. So, you see stuff like that happening over in Quebec. But anyways, this guy says because Canada is thriving. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Alberta is definitely thriving. We're getting big business showing up here, and they're wanting to open up shop here. That's for sure. He also says, it doesn't bother me that 59% of Canadians are now saying they'll never retire. What? 59% will never retire. Why not? Because even if you do retire, getting $1,000 a month really doesn't cut it, because your rent is probably going to be $1,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. So what are you going to use for your automobile, your insurance, for food on your plate? You're going to have to work for that, so you won't be able to retire. And yes, I'm aware that homeless encampments have increased 303% across Canada since 2018. And it's not really that big of a deal, because we have beautiful summers. So, you could be living in a tent in the summer. No big deal. Those homeless encampments are okay in the summertime because it's nice and warm. And I've heard that 10% of Canadians are living in poverty. Well, could we do better? I guess. But at least it's not 20% of people are living in poverty. Could be worse, I guess. And so what if roughly 100,000 Canadians have already been laid off in 2026? Maybe they should have chosen a better career path that was a little more stable. Like blame the people that lost their jobs, not the government. It's got nothing to do with the government, the Liberals that were elected in across Canada. And I think it's totally fine that 42% of Canadian manufacturers are planning to move to the United States. They should move. They're likely racist bigots and stuff like that. And the U.S. can have them because we don't want them here in Canada. Those businesses are just not good for Canada in the first place, so they may as well move to the States. What's the matter with these Liberals? Why do they think like that? I don't think like that. This is not me talking. This is a Liberal talking, and I'm reading what he posted here. Like, unbelievable. I mean, anyone who questions the government is a racist bigot. Don't you know that? Kat, you guys know that. You say that all the time over in your channel there. You call everybody that you don't agree with, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're this, you're that, and every name in the book. You're a misogynist, you're a homophobe, you're a xenophobe, you're a la. I should have all those terms listed here right in front of me so I could just read them off. But I pretty well got them memorized here verbatim, so I don't have a problem reciting them because, we've heard it enough times on the internet here, where people call you stuff like that. Shame on you for calling people like that. And guess what? They don't even care about the color of people's skin, but they should care because people of color need to understand that they're victims and they can't succeed without government handouts. And if you're white, it's your job to tell them. The same applies to First Nations. That's why we have DEI. Yeah. Remember, this isn't me saying this. This is the poster here who is DCL, and it's like, I live in Alberta, and I'm a forever Canadian who will be voting to stay in Canada. And what about those separatists? Oh, like me, the separatists, the seppies, the traitors, what does Brett call us? The separatards, even has gone one step further. We're not just a separatist, but we're a separatard, it's like a libtard or something like that. You can put a tard on the end of it there, and instead of calling you a retard, you're a separatard. You guys are ridiculous, Meanwhile, I don't call anyone any kind of a name. But yet, you guys say that I'm some kind of a racist or bigot or something like that. Holy smokes, what's the matter with this world? It's like you guys are going crazy there with all these names and stuff that you're calling people. Yeah, separatists don't care about the sexual orientation of others. Who wants to live in a country where sexual orientation doesn't matter? I don't. I mean, 2SLGBTQIA plus IBUPROFEN people deserve special treatment. They do. And normally I don't support public nudity, but I do if it's at a pride event because that's kind of special. There's only a whole bunch of kids there watching what's going on, from the side of the street, and you're throwing them candy and stuff like that. And meanwhile, your junk is hanging out. You know what I mean? Those kind of pride parades they're okay. The police don't do anything about them because they go, well, it's a protected class, and if we got involved in them, we've hurt their feelings so much rich over the past, throwing them in jail for, having gay bars and stuff like that, and, sexual activity in like side rooms in these back rooms and stuff like that. We used to bust them and throw them in jail, but now we're like, okay. In fact, we even have gay pride colors on the side of our police cars now in Canada. Like we're scared of them now. Yeah, it's like Queenie there. She's scared the RCMP there, and they go, "Whoa, okay, yeah, we'll listen to you, Queenie. We'll listen to you. Whatever you have to say, we won't do anything to you. We'll be hands off." Yeah, and don't think sexual orientation will be celebrated in an independent Alberta on a daily basis. And that's not right. Sexual orientation is everything these days, okay? So you're okay. Al Munson, you're okay. Everyone over in the Cats chat, you're all okay. No problem with you at all. And when it comes to government, what about government? Well, it's not their job to be honest or to look after the country. No, they don't need to be honest. Government, you know that government is corrupt. We all know that government is corrupt. So why would you ever expect that government would not be corrupt? Like shame on you for calling out the government for doing anything bad or wrong or taking advantage or giving special perks to companies that you might own shares in. Mark Carney, Brookfield, was kind of, that's, hey, I'm not saying that 100% for sure, but, people say stuff like that. Not me, though, so don't take me to court for saying anything like that. I'd hate to throw you under the bus, Mark Carney. And Brookfield, but hey, you guys are doing a good job of running Canada, and I think that any astute investor in Canada should own shares in Brookfield. Like, definitely buy Brookfield and look at the subsidiary companies that Brookfield owns, and also buy shares in those companies. And quit your frickin' complaining that you don't have enough money to buy shares. Shame on you for not saving up some of your money so that you have some excess cash to be able to buy some Brookfield shares. You need to do that, like you, Cannabis Rex. I hope to hell that you own Brookfield shares, because thumbs up for that company. They're going to be doing really great, because almost every time that Mark Carney announces that there's going to be billions of dollars invested in, they're not going to be spent, they're not going to be blown, they're not going to be, any of those terms, but it's invested. It seems like it's either Brookfield or one of their subsidiaries has something to do with it. Even his little flight over to the Middle East, Brookfield had something to do with that. Go and do some research on that, but it's not their job to be honest. So, what's the matter with you for assuming that, whoever you elect elbows up is going to be honest in the government? Because that just isn't the state. That's just not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a breath, Cat. I'll take a breath. Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing well. I'm getting amped up, though. We're getting amped up here on the show here today because of this guy who's like elbows up, and he wants us all to just go along with the status quo, with what's happening, with what, people vote for. Yeah. Their job is not to be honest or look after the country. It's our job to accept what they do. I mean, can you imagine living in a country with a responsible government? Where is it? Where is the responsible government? There is no country with responsible government. It doesn't exist. You know damn well that if you elect somebody, they're going to basically after they're elected, become a frickin' dictator and do whatever the hell they want. You see it all over the place. Like, look at you guys in the States. You elect Donald Trump, and he's like doing whatever the hell he wants. It's like, we're going to start a war in the Middle East. We're going to remove some dictator down in South America. We've got some embargoes happening over in Cuba. And after they're like pounded down so much with no oil and no electricity and no food and stuff like that, then we'll just go to phase 2 of the plan, which is who knows what. But you elected him, so he's going to do whatever the hell he wants, and some of the things that Trump does I do like, but hey, it's like that in any country, that whoever you elect becomes a frickin' dictator after they're elected, and you can't do a damn thing about it. It's like Mark Carney in Canada. He's like jet-setting all over the world, spending billions, multiple billions of dollars, over 100, probably 150, probably 200 billion. He wants to spend $1 billion, no, $10 billion on like some kind of submarines and airplanes and all kind of, military hardware like that. And did he ask us about that? Did he ask us what kind of airplanes that he wants to buy? No, he's just doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And that's just what happens when you elect people. They become dictators. Imagine living with a country with a responsible government. Not me. I wouldn't want that. Government officials became government officials so they can do whatever they want and spend our taxes, our tax money, and come up with more taxes for us, like come up with more carbon taxes and, tax those companies with corporate taxes, come up with ways to extra tax oil from provinces like Alberta, come up with carbon taxes, come up with carbon capture plants to capture that air and pump it back into the ground, before any kind of pipelines or things like that are even built. No, agree to capture air and pump it in the ground, or you're not going to get any pipeline, shit like that. They do it all the time. You know that. Government officials became government officials so they can do whatever they want and spend our tax money however they choose, even if that means funding other countries while Canadians go hungry. You see that all the time. It's like the government has just spent $22 billion in Biafra for gender equality, planting something in the back garden that is money that disappears, and you're never going to hear of anything actually happening in any other country. But the gender equity will flourish over in Biafra and some other whatever countries are. I wish I had the list here, but I don't get into details. I'm all about the generalization, the theory. I talk about things in a generalized, and you guys go, that's misinformation, Tommy. The government doesn't spend money on gender equity stuff in Africa. Yeah. Oh, Cannabis Rex, that's not misinformation. It's absolute truth. Okay. Guys like Dimebag Darren, he knows what's going on. He sees what's going on. He thinks like I do. He knows what's going on. It's not, he doesn't just, reject everything that's going on and go, oh, shame on you, Tommy, for not wanting to spend Canadian money on other countries when there's people living in tents in Edmonton, tent cities. And you know what? You could go to Edmonton, you could go to Vancouver, you could go to Calgary, you could go to Toronto, you could go to Little Saskatoon. In fact, you could go to Red Deer. There's tents in Red Deer. I wanted to go over to where the tents were, but my wife was driving. And I said, honey, drive over there. Look, I see a police car and I see a whole bunch of tents over there. Head over there so I can do a little video in Red Deer just to show that there's tent cities in little old Red Deer, which is just a small city in the middle of Alberta. They're living on the streets. They're doing fentanyl. They're drugged up. It's craziness happening right in little small city Alberta. Unfrickin' believable. Unbelievable. And some people have asked me how I feel about the debt being passed down to future generations by Mark Carney. Unbelievable since he's gotten into power. And the same thing with frickin' Trudeau. And with this liberal government that we've had for over 10 years now, we are so far in debt. Last I heard, before Carney got in, it was $1.7 trillion in debt. And Mark Carney is going to be adding to that. And it is absolutely unfrickin' believable. Unbelievable. We're going to explode. We need to get out of this madness. And the only way is for Alberta independence. Alberta is going to have to become an independent country and break away from the madness of the rest of Canada that's going on, become our own country. Yes, we will have to assume the stupid debt that the rest of Canada has put upon the citizens. We will have to assume our portion of that debt when we leave Canada. We're not just going to leave without our portion that we've been saddled with, which is a bunch of bullshit, at the first place, because he's spending money on crap that is benefiting. Why is Brookfield always involved with crap that Mark Carney is doing? Like, why is it? And he goes, no, I heard Mark Carney just the other day say, I'm not an investor and I'm not a banker anymore. I don't believe it. Why does he have a blind trust if he's not an investor? Why would he have a blind trust? Why? And he comes out and says, I'm not an investor and I'm not a banker anymore. What a liar. The guy saying something like that is an absolute liar. I don't like liars, and I certainly don't like politicians that lie. They're like at the top of the frickin' heap of BS that's out there. Unfrickin' believable. And some people have asked me how I feel about that debt. Yeah, I don't like it, and it's being passed on to future generations. You might not have a child. You might not have anybody under you, harmonic offspring, whatever you want to call them, but they're the people that need to assume all of this debt that we're generating here right now, right? They're printing dollars, Canadian dollars, like crazy, to the point that since Mark Carney has been elected, the value of the Canadian dollar in reference to the American dollar has dropped from 73 cents Canadian versus American to 70 cents. We're dropping. We're going to be dropping. Pretty soon it will be in the 60-cent level. Really, I'm not kidding you. And when that happens, it means that we have fewer dollars to buy products that come into Canada. And it doesn't matter whether it's from China, from Portugal, from Venezuela, or from the United States. It's going to cost all of us more money because our money is devalued and worth so much less. Why do you think things in your store are costing so much? Why do you think it costs $6 for a little basket of strawberries that come in from California or somewhere? Why do you think that a head of lettuce is expensive? Why do you think that all of the, like, oranges are expensive? All of those things that are not produced in Canada, that we cannot produce in Canada because orange trees don't grow in Canada. This is a temperate climate where things get cold in the wintertime. Those trees would frickin' die. We need to import all of those things from other countries. Bananas, you name it. And it doesn't matter whether it comes from the States or whether it comes from any other place in the world. When our dollar is worth less, we have less buying power, and everything is our food inflation is the worst out of any I think it's G7 country in the world. Unbelievable how much our inflation is here, and it's all because of the liberal government that you elbows up elected. Okay, it's not my fault. I didn't vote liberal, and you know what? A lot of people in Alberta did not vote liberal. We're not a liberal province. We vote conservative here, but it made no frickin' difference because even though the whole province voted conservative, the Liberals still got in. Because the Liberals are all back east. They're all in Ontario, where you guys get all the votes. You get all the seats in government. And, hey, once the polls close in Ontario, the election is pretty much made. It's called, because it doesn't matter how many other people vote in the rest of the provinces to the west of Ontario. We never make any difference anyways. It's like it's a fixed system. It's a system that's unfair, and that's why people in Alberta want out. We want out, absolutely out. Brett, and I don't see why you're not with us. You're like, well, I don't vote left or right, but I'm elbows up. I'm definitely with the elbows up crowd, that I want to stay in Canada and stick with the liberals and crap like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not my problem that the debt is being passed down to future generations. I don't care. I won't be around, then. I'll be like long dead, and all the kids, all your children, okay, all of you in the chat, you'll be dead, you'll be long gone, and your children will be the ones that will be assuming all of this debt. $1.7 trillion, and since Mark Carney got in, it's now way higher than that. And Mark Carney really doesn't care. He assumes that he was elected not to save money, not to look for ways to save money. If you have a household and you're overspending, you look for ways to save money. You go, well, how can I cut back on this? How can I cut back on that? How can I make sure that I'm not overspending? How can I make my budget meet ends? How can I make sure that I'm not spending any more money than I have, that I'm not getting massively into debt just on daily living? Sure, you might want to buy a house and go in debt and make payments on that house, okay, because you need a place to live. You need that. But just on daily spending, just on the things that you need to survive, you shouldn't be going massively in debt on stuff like that. Otherwise, you're going to end up going broke. And, this country is on its way, Canada is on its way to going absolutely broke. And you see that by way of the Canadian dollar losing value. You see that you don't have enough money to go to the store. Do you ever go to the store and buy stuff? And you go, holy shit, how much did I spend on that? Ding, 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 ding. $200. Holy shit, I only have a half a shopping cart worth of stuff, and it's $200, that stuff told me. Holy crap. Unbelievable. Yeah, I know, Brett. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Brett. I'm kidding. I know you didn't vote elbows up. But, if you're thinking that what Mark Carney is doing is good for the country, you must be elbows up, because I don't agree with that. And, I think that the only way out of this situation is for independence, because otherwise you're just part of the whole problem there if you go along with it. And you go, well, yeah, things are expensive, and I send half my paycheck to the government when I have a job, when I have to pay taxes and stuff like that. But, I don't care. I really don't care. It's because it's just the way life is. Old Goat, good to see you in there. Chicken Bone Timeout. Yeah, exactly. Old Goat in the chat. Hey, good to see you. We got Casey Willis in there. Good to see you there, Casey. Let's see who else is in there that I missed. Mama Cass in there. Elliot. Hey, good to see him. Mama Cass Elliot. Yeah, I remember her too. What did she die of? Chicken bone. Yeah, I do believe that. now that I think of that. Yeah. I love my children, and, well, I don't have grandchildren yet, and my future grandchildren, but their future isn't really my concern. Let them survive on their own. Let them pay for all this debt. I really don't care, because as an elbows up liberal, I'll be dead anyways. Who gives a shit? I already have my big house, and I've got a whole bunch of money in the bank because I lived in, times were good, saved up my money, and who gives a shit about anybody else, That's the elbows up liberal out there, the average boomer out there. Where's my boomer? Yeah.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care. It's their future, not mine. Anyways, that's why me and my friends, actually that's wrong. It should be my friends and I are voting to stay, because Canada is just plain amazing. Elbows up. Let's just blame Trump for everything. And free Palestine. Don't forget about that. Yeah. And here's the photo that goes along with that. Okay, just so you know that I'm not BSing about that. Yeah, they wrote it, I read it, you heard it, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Oh, yeah. So how's everyone doing today? How's everyone in the chat? Give me some information. Brett's not here for popularity. I know that. You're here for fun and excitement. I hope you had a beer or two, and I watched the beginning of your last stream there, Brett, where you said, "I just had a beer in 10 minutes, and I'm on my second one here." So I thought, okay, this stream's gonna be good. Yeah, 100%. You're looking beautiful, Partibonza. Good to see you in there. Oh, you're talking about Brett. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not so much going to be supporting anybody with Alberta independence. I like the idea of Alberta independence. I don't like the antics and the stuff that's going on in the elbows up crowd, in the stay in Canada crowd. But I'm going to sort of back away from stuff that's going on. I really tried to contact John Bolton to be part of the big thing that's going to be happening on the 18th. There's going to be a big telethon for independence in Alberta. But, hey, I sent 3 emails to John Bolton, and he has never responded to any of my emails. I got a hold of another guy I was telling you about in my last stream to tell him to talk to John to get me involved in that stream. I'm like one of the very few people that's a streamer in Alberta. I was born in Alberta, and I have a vested interest in Alberta, and I'm a staunch supporter of Alberta independence. But for whatever reason, I guess John Bolton and the rest of the people that are involved with the whole affair probably assume that I'm just too small of a streamer, not big enough, not enough followers out there, and not enough people watching my stream here. Which, I don't do little clips, because when you do little clips and you do a little 10-minute video or something like that and you upload it, yeah, you get literally 1,500 or 2,000 views or whatever, stuff like that. When I go live, it's just the live audience that's watching you. Right now we've got about 75 people watching on all of the different platforms. We're on Kick, we're on Facebook, we're on 4 YouTube channels, we're on Twitch, we're on X. So all of them combined, I'm looking at my counter here, we're about 75 people watching right now. So it's not a big audience. We're not doing, super great. There's other people with larger audiences, bigger channels, and that devote their streams just to Alberta independence. I'm like somebody that's on here talking about everything and anything. Part of what I talk about is Alberta independence, but that being said, I also talk about other stuff. By the way, I got a hold of VoIP MS, and I tried to initialize my VoIP MS app on my phone so that my phone number would work, and I couldn't get it to work because I have this brand new iPhone 17. And for whatever reason, the iPhone 17 didn't work with their app. So they said, well, what you want to do is install a different app called Zoiper, called Zoiper. So I installed that on my phone here right now. And I've got it installed. Well, you can't see it, but there's my keypad on it. And I tried making a call to myself, and it actually worked. So I believe my phone number is now working, and it is connected up to my Roadcaster Pro here. So we can bring a guest up on the panel here, or call in. Can bring a call in here if somebody wants to phone in and test my phone line. It would be good if somebody could at least phone in and test it, and we could see whether or not it actually works. So that would be a good thing. So definitely, yeah, call in. You're free to call in here if you don't like what I said, or if you have any comments on what I've said. Definitely, we want you to pop in here. We got friend popping in here. The link you have is spam cat. I don't know what's going on there. Catamus Rex is wanting to advertise her channel on my channel to get more subs over and people watching over there. Which, hey, and then you're gonna bash me over there, call me a racist and stuff like that. Like, come on. Like, is that how it works? You guys better be dropping my link over in your channel, Catamus Rex. We want to see that over in your channel, because you need to advertise my channel to your 5 viewers over there. But you guys sit around and bash people over there all day anyways, so I don't know if people are interested in that. Oh, okay. We got a phone call coming in here. We got a caller popping in here. Let's accept that phone call. Hello. How are you doing today? See if we can hear you. Are you in there?
That silence over there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I heard you.
I don't hear nothing.
Can you hear you? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
I don't hear you, Tommy. I don't hear nothing.
I hear you.
Don't hear nothing.
You're coming in here. Let me see here.
I had the crank turned up and everything. I hear nothing.
Okay, let's see. Roadcaster Pro. It's funny, I can hear you good. You can hear me now?
Or I did. For a minute.
Oh, okay. I'm on my phone speaker here right now. Can you hear me? Just hang on here. iPhone speaker. Okay, how about that? Hello, Brett. Yeah, I can hear you on my phone here now. Can you hear me on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird. So I need to work on this a little bit more. Because right now I don't have my phone hooked up to my Roadcaster, but I can hear you on my phone.
Got you.
So I have to hold my phone up to my microphone here for them to hear you. But at least I'm receiving a call, so I've got that much figured out. But I'm not sure why it is not working on that bit. Hang on here. There is something called audio source. And I can pick Roadcaster Pro, but why would it not be feeding my audio over to you with the Roadcaster Pro? It's kind of odd. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Affirmative.
Yeah. Well, I can hear you I just used the phone, but let me put it on Roadcaster Pro here. Hang on. Okay. Talk to me now. Let's see how it's now.
You seem to have went away.
Yeah, I can hear you on air. You're coming in good on air. Can you hear me?
I hear nothing now.
You hear nothing? Yeah, I'm going to have to work on this here, I think. Dum-dum-dum-dum.
No, I hear nothing.
Okay. So, yeah. It's like I hear you when I put it on Roadcaster Pro, but you don't hear me. So I got some sort of a technical issue to figure out here. But anyways, anything that you want to say to the audience there while I have the phone right up to the microphone there and they can hear you?
Yeah, fuck your elbows up bullshit.
Well, I know you're not a liberal, like, you know.
I recognize the elbows up thing as a liberal campaign the moment it fucking happens. So I've never been elbows up. I've never said that, think like that. So it has nothing to do with that. Like, And I don't understand, like, you have this, like, Bush mentality or something where it's like, if you're not with us, you're against us. Where it's like, just because I'm saying fuck you separatists and fuck you conservative assholes, that doesn't mean I support the fucking libtards. You can be against both.
Well, yeah, but what about all? Well, yeah, you don't have to be a liberal, but what about all those things that I read, from this so-called elbows up person? Where, well, I mean, it's probably that whole thing was like a joke kind of a thing, but there are a lot of things that are wrong in Canada that the liberals support. That those are kind of the reasons that Alberta wants independence.
But Tommy, you're missing the whole freaking point that the conservatives are just as bad. It was Harper that sold us out to China. It was Harper that joined the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It was Harper that freaking sold us out to Saudi Arabia. It was Harper that ramped up the TFW program. Like, I know Harper was in like over a decade ago.
I agree,
but it doesn't negate everything that he did prior and what he like sold us out to.
Well, no,
the conservatives are just as freaking bad, man.
I understand that. Like, it doesn't matter whether you vote liberal or conservative. You're still going to get more of the same, i.e., government that's potentially bad. I agree with that. And that doesn't, people that are so-called separatists or independent thinkers like me, we're against all of that bad government. It doesn't matter where it comes from on both sides. So I agree with you.
Yeah, but that's not entirely true. Like, we've heard you all lots for the past how many years, like, you completely support that Pierre Poilievre freaking sellout, who's just an Israel puppet. He's a groom for position, career politician, Israel puppet. Like, voting conservative is just as bad as voting liberal.
Well, I know, but the reason that I would say vote conservative would be, of the two parties that could potentially get into power, okay, the conservatives are far less, less worse, shall we say, than the liberals. Like, of the two parties, if you know that only one of those two are going to get in, the conservatives are better than the liberals, I would say.
No, they're both bad.
Well, I know they're both bad, but which is worse, the liberal or the conservative? The liberal is far worse than the conservative.
I disagree. I don't think one is any better or worse than the other.
Wow.
I think they both are corrupt. They both suck. And how elections work is, if nobody voted for either of those traitor corrupt parties, they wouldn't form government. Somebody else would. That's how an election works.
Well, I know, but that's an opinion, okay? You have your opinion, I have my opinion, and our opinions are like assholes. Everyone has an opinion, and, I may not agree with you, you may not agree with me, but we both have our opinions on the subject. You have to agree with that.
You can keep voting for the corrupt conservatives and thinking things will change, and I'm going to actually vote for something that I align with. Not, I need to vote conservative just to get the liberals out, which I've done before.
Well, that's true. But Brett, I would have to say that I like a lot of the things that the PPC have to say. And if he had, a bigger following and if he got more votes and if he had any kind of a chance of becoming the government, I would vote PPC, because I like the PPC, what he has to say, far better than the conservatives. But we have to be realistic in this world, and we have to look at which party has the potential of getting into power, and the PPC has zero chance of that happening at this point in time. Now, you might say, well, it's guys like you that don't vote for them, that's the reason that they don't have any chance. Well, he's got to work on it. He has to get MPs into the government. He has to get at least somebody elected. He himself should have, it's just like the NDP, Avi Lewis there. He's running the NDP party. He won't even have a seat. He won't even stand up be able to stand up in government. So the NDP are ass backwards as far as I'm concerned as well.
I don't like a lot of their party policies and shit they do. I mean, look at their convention. The NDP convention was an absolute freaking nightmare. Like,
I know.
International joke.
I know.
But Avi Lewis is actually pretty good. Like,
Well, I don't think so, especially when he wants Canada to become a communist type country we want our own government operated grocery stores. The government should take over the internet. The government should take over cell phones. The government should take over housing and offer housing to people. It should be nationalized. You know, all kind of stuff like that. That irks of communism in my mind.
I've never voted NDP, so I've never voted for any of that.
Yeah.
And
Well, plus, did you see Nenshi had his picture taken with the ambassador of Israel there the other day? And then he gets questioned about it, and then he runs off. He goes, "Is that a camera? Are you filming me?" And then he runs away. Did you see that clip?
I didn't see the clip, but I did see that he was with the Israelis there. He caught like a lot of backlash over it. I've seen a lot of comments in a lot of places. Actually, yesterday in what was that channel that you went to that you told me about, Ryan Jesperson?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to his channel yesterday for the first time, and there was lots of people talking in the comments about Nenshi screwing up and hanging out with the Israelis and crap. Like it's.
Yeah, well, Ryan Jesperson is a left-leaning NDP type supporter channel. So all of his chat, and when I go in there, and they know me, Tommy Temper, I'm like the conservative type guy in there, and I get bashed all the time. They don't like me at all, and in fact, I go in there and I get a timeout just for saying hi in there now. So I don't go in there anymore. But it's an echo chamber over there. NDP echo chamber.
I didn't have any problem. But then again, I also was one of the ones calling out Nenshi for hanging with the freaking Israelis and crap. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, we got Brett Boyle in here. Check out his channel. Drop a link in the channel there, Brett. Thanks a lot for phoning in, testing my phone line here. I'm going to have to work on it a little bit and find out why on this particular slider control. Maybe I have to change my input outputs or something so that my mic will go over to the phone and I don't have to hold the phone up to the microphone here. But thanks a lot for phoning in, Brett. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, just a final message. I did work almost 14 hours yesterday, and yes, I definitely had a couple of happy pops when I got home. You damn right. So
right on.
People in the chat being dicks, go fuck yourselves and shove your elbows up shit, Tommy.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. See you later. That's Brett Boyle coming in from southern Alberta. I think it's High River is the location is where he's phoning in from. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to have to test my phone here so that it will work with my sound board so that we can get this thing all fixed up here and get call-ins to work properly. So don't phone in at this moment until I get that stuff figured out. Yeah, Pooh Scissors in there. Good to see Pooh Scissors checking in from Edmonton, who's Queenie's apparently going to be staying in a spare bedroom as is there for a little while there until she finds her new place. Apparently. Anyways, that's the latest details on that there. What? Pooh Scissors blocked Quack? What Queenie doesn't like that I'm nice to you, LOL. Yeah. Be nice to Pooh Scissors. Pooh Scissors, it's like Queenie goes, well, Pooh Scissors is a best friend of mine. It's one of his besties, her besties, this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, I don't know about that, but I'm not going to say anything at this moment. We're not going to spill the beans anyways, but we know a little bit more than the average person. Let me say that much there anyways. Let's see what else we can bring up here as far as news and stuff like that. We have the mayor of Toronto has come out with a something here about, I think it's about the shootings and about the guns and stuff like that in the streets of Toronto. Let's listen first of all to what Mayor Olivia Chow has to say about what's happening in Toronto. You've got gangs of people with guns, and they're killing people in Toronto. Oh, no.
I have spoken to the federal public safety minister and urged him to work with his American counterpart to stem the flow of illegal American guns into Toronto streets.
Oh no, that's why people are getting killed in Toronto. It's those illegal guns, the illegal guns coming in from the United States. That's why things are bad in Ontario. That's why things are bad in Toronto. No, it doesn't have anything to do with, call me a racist, mass immigration. Maybe you should be calling out the mass immigration and the unvetting all of those frickin' criminals that are being let into the country. Maybe that might have something to do with why people are dying in the streets. They can't even have a frickin' festival without open gunfire at the festival and people shooting rounds and killing people. And gun action in the streets, but let's blame the illegal guns, okay, and not the real source of the problem. Shame on you, Olivia Chow, mayor of Toronto. How do they elect somebody like her? Like, really, honestly. Like, it's like all of these cities, it's like, I think that, what is it? Is it that, she's like pretty far left wing, left wing. She's left wing. It's like same thing in Calgary. You got a left winger running the city. Same thing in Edmonton, left winger. All of these cities, it's like left wing people, like left leaning people that are running these cities. And if you see the same thing in the States, look at who's running. Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. There's such crazy people in there. They're so left leaning. They're like, oh, we love Antifa. Don't hurt Antifa. The mayor of Seattle. No, let's tax all of the people that are creating jobs in the city, the big, large job creators. Let's tax the hell out of them so that they move out of the city, and the commercial high-rise buildings are all frickin' vacant in Seattle because they've got a woman running the frickin' thing that's so left-wing with her left-wing policies that anyone with any kind of a major business that hires people and is making any money ends up going, I'm out of here. I'm closing shop and I'm moving the hell out of here. Like even Starbucks, and I think Starbucks is even a kind of a left leaning in my mind because everyone that works there is a little bit weird. Even they left Seattle. Like, holy geez. Same thing with California. California, you've got all these different businesses that are leaving for places better, like where Texas and places on the east coast of the states that are, Republican. People that vote Republican, those people that are the right-wing parties, they're moving to those states that are red in the states, and they're running out of the blue states, like California, to all of the blue states. It's happening. You know that it's happening. And in Canada, you have expansion of the economies in the red, or sorry, not red, the blue, because it's opposite in Canada here. Blue. See my hat? It's blue. Conservative. In Canada, it's absolutely the opposite as the United States. But anyways, businesses are flourishing in places like Alberta. Okay, the jobs are in Alberta. When you hear of job increases, it's like real private sector jobs are happening in Alberta. And the only jobs that are happening in liberal provinces are government sector jobs, which I don't consider a government job to be a real job, because you're sucking money out of the taxpayers to pay those people with those government jobs. It's actually hurting the country to create government jobs. That's what you people don't understand. And with all that spending that Carney is doing, he's going, oh no, we're going to have to get rid of some government employees in order to come up with some revenue. Stop using the tax money to pay those government employees. And that's the only way that we can keep some money in the coffers to pay for the billions of dollars that we're spending. So even Carney is, going, no, government jobs, we're going to have to cut down on all those government jobs. And during the tenure of our good friend Trudeau, the number of government jobs increased exponentially in Canada. And a lot of people are working that could probably be replaced with AI now with the advent of AI. And yeah, we could get into that. What about the big center that's being built in near Edmonton? We've got that whole thing going on there, and it's a go. And by the way, that land that is earmarked for the big Meta operation, where it's going to be a whole bunch of computers, a whole bunch of operations and storage and AI and all kind of stuff like that. There's going to be billions of dollars spent on that whole thing. And I believe that it is shovels in the ground as I speak right now. But that land that they're on was actually earmarked for refineries, I hear. So what would you rather have, a refinery, so-called polluting the environment, or an AI center, or data storage center, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I know Brett says the AI surveillance centers there. Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence there a little bit, because I believe that those data centers are required because the internet is expanding. Okay. More and more things are, you have the Internet of Things. Now you have, your a computer in your refrigerator that's going to be, you're going to scan your product when you put it in the fridge, and you're going to scan it when you take it out of the fridge, or it'll be scanned with a camera or something, and you'll be able to keep track of what items that you need to buy at your store. So you look at your list and you go, oh, my refrigerator says that I need milk and I need butter and I need this because there's none in the fridge there right now. So you have the Internet of Things, and all of that needs some kind of cloud storage, and that's what Meta is up to, building that cloud storage. And it's not actually in the cloud. It's in a server, a physical server that's sitting somewhere and needs power from somewhere. And they're going to be powering that big data center with gas, I believe. That's going to be natural gas converted to electricity with a boiler. It heats a boiler and turns a generator and creates the electricity. And apparently this data center is so large that it will be using as much energy as 3/4 of the city of Edmonton uses at the moment. That's huge. And they're apparently building another data center up near Grand Prairie, and another one down there, we hear, because Brett has been talking about it, down at High Level. No, not High Level. Wherever it is there, Brett. I keep getting that mixed up with High Level. But anyways, there's one of them in southern Alberta, one of them near Edmonton, and another one in the northern part of Alberta. So these data centers are big. Now, why are they opening them up in Alberta? Why not Ontario? Probably because the high cost of energy, the high cost of electricity, and nobody wants them in my backyard. Meanwhile, you guys are losing jobs like crazy in Ontario with all those auto factories, auto plants closing down and moving to the States. You've got companies like GMC closing down, moving down. You got Ford closing down. You got Dodge closing down. You got other companies. All these major manufacturers are basically closing down their plants in Canada. And why? Why is that? It's because Donald Trump says we're going to tax cars coming into the United States, so you better move your plants into the United States and start building your cars in the United States. And what did Canada do about that? Nothing, zero, nada, no communication. All you had was Doug Ford going, well, we're going to take American booze off of our Ontario Liquor Board shelves, and we're not going to allow people in Ontario to drink American-made spirits and booze and stuff like that, right? That was the only thing that happened. That was a provincial pushback that happened. But what did Mark Carney do? Elbows up. Just elbows up, but no communication, nothing. What about this a trade deal that we have with the States? Apparently, there's stuff going on there where we're not even showing up to go to to talk to them at all. It's just Mark Carney is like, well, we don't need to trade with the United States. Canada will just trade with China. Yeah, we'll buy those Chinese cars. We got a deal for reduce that 100% tariff with China down to like 6% or 7% or something like that, and just bring in a whole bunch of Chinese cars here. The exploding Chinese spy cars. That's what we're all going to be driving up here in Canada. Apparently, that'll be my next car, a BYD exploding Chinese car. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be like just plain great. Yeah, I know, Al. They are American companies. Yeah, but we had trade diversification where some stuff, okay, some cars were produced in Canada and we were buying those cars. We were shipping American cars to Canada. We were buying those cars. We were manufacturing some American cars in Canada and shipping them to the States. And there was a flow, there was auto car parts were being manufactured in Canada. They were sent to the States, manufactured a bit there, sent back to Canada, and there were no trade barriers. It wasn't like, oh, you got to pay 10% tariff or 20% tariff when something crosses the border. But now Trump has made it so that, no, he says, no, we don't need Canadian cars. We don't need Canadian lumber. We don't need Canadian anything. You guys can rot and die up there in Canada, basically. Well, he didn't say that, I'm saying that. But that's what it's equating to. But, and up here in Canada, it's like, well, we just need to buy more of our own crap ourselves and don't buy so much American stuff. Buy Canadian, Well, yeah, but it's kind of hard to buy Canadian oranges and Canadian lettuce and Canadian stuff that doesn't really grow all that well up here, especially in the winter time. So we're pretty much forced to buy American stuff, whether we like it or not. And that's just the way it goes, But the worst part of it is that you guys voted for Carney, and Carney is doing dick all with any kind of negotiations with the United States. He'd rather jump on a jet and make some kind of a deal with a Middle East country to invest our pension plans, right? Our pension plans in some crap over there in the Middle East, instead of investing it in maybe housing in Canada or something like that. That might be a better thing. And to do something where Brookfield's involved with it, with some kind of a Middle East deal in order to enrich companies like that. That Mark Carney is, he's he apparently doesn't have any stock in Brookfield, whatever. He's not an investor. Mark Carney is not an investor anymore. He's not a financial genius anymore. Well, maybe he thinks he's a financial genius, but it's got nothing to do with our dollar. He's not a banker anymore. But he is actually probably the worst person for Canada. I could do a better job. I could hop on a plane and go down and talk to Trump and work a better deal than Mark Carney has. I can tell you that right now. Absolutely right now. I should have actually been a politician. I should have done it. But you know what? I'm just tired of all of the crap that people would do to me and say about me and post about me and, run me down to the ground and stuff like that if I was in politics, So for that reason, I looked at politics and I thought, you know what? I'm just not into having everybody run me down. It's bad enough being on social media. I see what you guys say. I see what you guys say on the troll channels about me and stuff like that. And it's not nice. Yeah, I know. I could be a deal maker, Al Munson. Like, I'm not a stupid person. I may not know the details of certain things, like off the top of my head, exactly the numbers with, stuff that's posted and, whatever. But I know the difference of how to make a deal. It's the same thing with Trump. Trump has his certain way of making a deal. It's like ask for the sky and take what you can get. He's a deal maker. The same thing with me. I have made so many deals in my life over various things. It is unbelievable. You guys don't know, and I keep my life a little bit secret as my past in my life. But I'm a deal maker. I've made many deals in my life, and I know what it takes to make a deal. I know how to do a transaction. I know how to ask for more than you can get. I know how to, many times I've asked for things that I never thought that I would have been able to get, and people actually said, hey, yeah, okay, I'll agree with that. You know, part of that is, you know, what has made me what I am today, which is to be able to sit here on the beach and relax and take it easy and not have to go to work every day. Okay. Do you guys see me going to work? Do you? Do you see me at work going, well, I'm at work now and I'm plunging toilets and I'm fixing a light switch, or I'm digging a hole in the ground, or, you know, when do you ever see me doing something like that? Never, ever. I'm on here asking for super chats, you know. I'm living off the super chats, the good life on the internet. And thank you very much for those people that are actually members of my channel here. You click that button there called join if you're on your PC. Click that and just, yeah, at least buy a membership for, let me see how much it is here. When you click join, for $2.99 a month, you could actually financially support me, who doesn't work and sits out here on the beach. I need to sell a course. I'll come up with a course. You'll be able to buy my course for $199 or something on how you too can sit on the beach and do nothing all day and ride your golf cart around and have fun. You know, it can be done. You too can do the shit that I do, because man, this is the life. This is the life. I'm not kidding.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Alberta's pride.
Yeah, can't make this shit up. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us today. It is 12:49 Mountain Daylight Time on the beach. Thanks a lot for popping in here and saying hi. We're going to try and do a live stream every day. Get everyone in here. See if you... Thanks a lot, Real Mama. Celebrates 18 months of membership. Support the Tommy Temper Show. Yeah, thank you very, very much for those of you that are members of my channel. I do appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. That's Red Mama. In for the win. Thank you very much. Drop a link to your channel or any channel you want there. I know you're a mod in here. Appreciate that. And yeah, that's enough of my ranting today. I need to take a blood pressure pill now, because now my blood pressure is pumping up to the point where I think my head is going to explode. Holy jeez. Unbelievable. Woo. Unfrickin' believable. Carmen America. Stop in for that wrench. I see that. Oh, now they're going to be talking about me in Kat's channel, you know, the Antifa channel, calling me names and all kind of crap like that. We got Railroaded in there. Hey, Railroaded. Good to see you. Coming in from Northern Alberta, Canada. Good to see you. And I'm going to work on my call-in phone number here. Make sure it works a little bit better, so that I don't have to be holding my phone up to the microphone here, because that was very unprofessional. I don't like that. I like to run a professional ship here. I don't like to have it bombarded by Ukrainian drones and taken out. We like to run a proper ship, seeing as we're on the water, or close to it. But I'm going to stop for lunch and have a bite to eat. And we'll see you all later. Take care. Thanks for popping in there. I appreciate all of your fun and excitement and personal gestures. And thanks for joining for 18 months. I appreciate that. That was Red Mama in the chat.